Today we are going to talk about the 5 limiting beliefs that you absolutely need to change in order to heal in 2025. Hello, my name is Lisa with Lisa Heal Yourself, and if you are excited about this video, give it a thumbs up. And by the end, if you receive value from it, then please consider subscribing. So if you want to heal this year, you really have to stop your limiting beliefs. These may come in the form of excuses, your reasons why you can't, justifications why you can't, right? Excuses, reasons, justifications. These are all limitations, and they stem from limiting beliefs. So while you may think you're just justifying something, or you're just telling me a reason why, or you're just, making an excuse because you really aren't sure, all of these are actually limitations in your life. They are all keeping you stuck, holding you back. And if you truly want to heal in 2025, then we need to eliminate these. We need to work at getting rid of them, not just pretending that we don't believe them anymore or have these as reasons or continue to use them to try to justify our situation. But we need to truly change them at a level that we don't believe them anymore. We don't believe them, so we don't need to keep making these excuses. We don't need to keep saying that this is a reason that we can't do something. We don't need to keep justifying our story, right? Justifications and reasons and excuses and all of these things are truly just a form of a limiting belief that you hold deep inside you. And if you change it, not just pretend to change it, but truly change it, then you can expand in all of those areas. And you don't need to use those anymore as reasons or excuses or even validations as to why you cannot do something. Because the truth is you can. You absolutely can. If anyone can, if anyone has, then you also can. But there's something standing in between you and what you want. And it's an excuse, a reason, a justification. It's some limitation that you have that prevents you from getting what you want. And if we can get to that limiting belief, if we can understand that we can choose a different belief, that we can have a different belief, then those things start to disappear. This invisible barrier that is between what you want and the reality of having it. All of these walls that we've put there, these invisible fences, and we've put this invisible wall in between what it is that we want and what we desire most. And the reason this is there is because of fear. It's because of our limiting beliefs. And when we see these excuses, we can start to dismantle them and change them. Change them. Because until we change them, we cannot change. We cannot make progress, because every time we do, we run up against these invisible walls that we don't even know are blocking us. So let's get into these top 5 beliefs that I held when I was deathly ill. These are the ones that I see that are the most common in any of the people that I work with who are extremely sick and suffering. These excuses, these justifications, these stories, these reasons why, these limitations, right? All limiting beliefs. They come up over and over and over again. And these are stopping you, yes, you, from healing. I know this because I had all of these, and I see most of the people that I'm working with have these as well. Let's go through these, because if you can dismantle these, then you can dismantle any other ones that are still there that I haven't addressed today. So number 1, the absolute number 1 excuse or justification or limiting belief, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to run through all those things that it could be every time. But number 1 is I have tried everything. I've already tried everything. First of all, you can imagine that nobody has tried everything. I thought I had tried everything, and I have tried, I think, more than most people, because I have tried over and over and over for 10 years, like not giving up, just consistently over and over. I've taken so many courses, read so many books, I've done so many protocols, seen so many doctors, seen so many naturopaths, so many functional medicine doctors, on and on and on it went. Just there was never a time when I wasn't taking an active role in doing something, trying something consistently over that decade. But even me, right? I realized that I've probably tried only a fraction of what's actually really out there. And I've tried a lot. I've tried so much that I'm able to put together a course, and I have over 1,000 videos on this channel. I have gone down all of the rabbit holes. I feel like I've tried all the things, but that's simply not true. There's infinite possibilities of things that work, because everyone who has healed did a protocol. Everyone who has healed attributes it to something, whether it's a physical thing they did, or a mind body thing they did, or an emotional thing that they did, or a spiritual thing that they did, or a medical thing that they did. Whatever they did, they attribute it to something. And so there's infinite number of people who have healed in infinite different ways. That's why it's confusing, because if there was only one or two ways to heal, everyone would be healed. But because everyone has a different story, and if everyone attributes it to something different, there's so many different infinite possibilities of how you can heal, and different combinations of what you can do to heal, that it's absolutely impossible to have tried them all. So that's just untrue. So if you've been telling yourself this excuse or this reason why you can't heal your disease, then it's simply just not true. And you need to choose a different belief. You need to say, I've tried a lot of things, but I haven't tried everything. There is more things that I can try. There's more things that I can do. There's more protocols, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional. There's more combinations of things. I can do things longer, harder, easier, better, lighter. There's so many ways that you can heal. Don't limit yourself by saying you've tried them all, or you've tried that thing and it didn't work. You might have tried that thing for a week. You might have tried that thing for 90 days. Who knows if that's not the thing that's actually going to work for you? You haven't consistently tried it for long enough, maybe, right? Maybe doing that thing for 30 days did nothing. Maybe doing that thing for 6 months changes you by 50%. You don't know because you haven't done it. There's a time and place for, like, yes, I've tried this and I didn't work, so I'm moving on. But did you really give it a real try? How long did you try? Did you believe in it when you tried? What was your mindset you had when you were doing it? Were you thinking, I hate this the whole time? I don't think this is going to work? Because if you were, maybe that's the thing that caused it not to work. So if this is an excuse or a reason or a validation or a justification or limiting belief that you hold, it's not true. You haven't tried everything. And yes, something can work for you. And until you instill the thought, I haven't tried everything, and something that I try will work for me, until you truly believe that, change the belief that I've tried everything, nothing works for me, to I can find something to try that will work for me. I haven't tried everything, and something that I do try will work. Until you change that limiting belief, until you truly start to believe that, then you aren't expanding, opening, moving towards healing. You have an invisible wall, whether you know it or not. Even if you move on to try something different, if you still hold that belief, nothing ever works for me, I've tried it and it doesn't work, that's just going to transfer to the next thing that you try, right? That thing didn't work for me, and then the next thing you try, we're going to bring that belief with you, and it's going to go into that thing. Until you start to change and hold the belief deep within, I haven't tried everything. One of the things I'm going to try is going to work for me. And the next thing you try, if you really have that belief, that could be the thing. That could be the thing. You're open to it. You're expanding into it. So I hope you're seeing that that's a limiting belief, and you need to change it deeply at the core, and you need to align with the belief that you haven't tried everything, that something will, and that something will work for you. and maybe it's the next thing you try. You are close to finding and doing the thing that's going to work for you. Until you can hold that belief, you're not moving towards it. Okay, so number 2, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money to do the program. I don't have enough money to be on a healing protocol. I don't have enough money for supplements. I don't have enough money for that thing that I think I need, that gadget or the biohacking thing or the protocol or the supplements or the detox stuff or the whatever it is. I don't have enough money for it. I don't have enough money. I can't buy it because I don't have enough money. Therefore, I can't heal. If you are holding this as an excuse or a justification or a reason why not, this is a limiting belief. And if you have it, most people do. I had it. Everyone I see has it. You are holding yourself back from healing. Now, while it might be true that you don't have a lot of money, that you can't afford everything, that you are on a budget, or you have to be careful where you're spending your money or resources so that you can live month to month and pay your bills and pay your rent or pay your mortgage and eat your food and be able to live and sustain a life here in the world, and you don't have extra to put towards something. Okay, so that might be true. Often it is true. But if that's your belief system, then everything that comes up that could be beneficial for your healing, whether it's a book, whether it's a program, whether it's a food, whether it's a supplement, whether it's anything, you are already in the mindset, I can't afford it, I can't do it, I can't try it. That's limiting you. That is putting a block between what it is that you want and the reality that you're living. Because if you think that's the only thing that you can get you there, that's the thing, yet you can't afford it, and you turn your mind off to it because you can't afford it, you are doing yourself a disservice. You're believing something that's not true. Yes, you might not be able to take that person's program, but is that information available for free somewhere else? Yes, you may not be able to afford that supplement, but could you get a different supplement at a cheaper price that you can afford? Can you substitute your Starbucks coffee or whatever it is that you get every day to be able to afford it, right? Can you do that? Maybe you truly can't afford even one bottle of supplements that you think is the thing that's going to help you, and there's nothing else you can give up to substitute for it. So maybe you can find foods to eat, because you have to eat anyway, that are high in that nutrient and are going to give you that thing without even taking the supplement. Can you substitute it for a food? Oh no, it's too expensive, I can't eat that food. Maybe there's a cheap food that has that mineral, nutrient, whatever in there, that you don't even need to buy an expensive food or the supplement in order to get that in your life. So maybe you can't afford to go to this week-long retreat or work with someone one-on-one because it's thousands of dollars, but maybe you can give up your nightly Netflix show and get into bed at 9 o'clock and sleep longer every single day, right? There's a lot of things that are free, right? Maybe you can't afford the vitamin D supplement, but maybe you can sit out in the sun for 6 hours a day and let the sunlight heal you. Maybe you can't afford those grounding sheets, but you can certainly ground to the earth. Maybe you can't afford to do all this body work or body treatment, but you can afford to go in and do the inner work that's necessary, the emotional work that's necessary for healing. And maybe you can't afford that program that teaches you how to do it, but maybe you can access free videos on how to do it. So I hear this all the time. I can't afford it. I can't afford it. So you wall yourself off to everything, right? The truth is, you can afford to be on a healing protocol. You can afford to learn that information. You can afford to take the supplement or do the program or heal in whatever way. Maybe not the way you want to, but in a different way. Maybe there's only one program, or there's only one supplement, or there's only one thing, and it's only this one person, and there's only this one way, and it's too expensive. Well, maybe there's a Boxing Day sale, or maybe there's a Black Friday sale, or maybe you can work out some sort of payment schedule with this person, or maybe you can barter for some other service that you can provide them and they can provide you this. There's always a way. So if you are holding the limiting belief that it's too expensive for me to heal, it's too expensive for me to be on a healing protocol to get what I need in order to heal, then you are doing yourself a disservice. Maybe it is too expensive for you to eat all organic fruits and vegetables. So then don't buy all organic, but you can still buy local. Maybe you can still buy all the fruits and vegetables you need at a half the price at a discount grocery store or at a small farmer's market, right? Maybe you need to go carnivore, but you can't afford all the meat. You can't afford what it costs. So can you do eggs? Eggs are pretty cheap. Can you go to eggs for breakfast, eggs for lunch, and just meat once a day? Grass-fed meat from a farmer once a day, and you're not buying vegetables, you're not buying anything else because you're carnivore, then you can afford it, right? You're not buying that Starbucks, you're not buying any treats, you're not buying anything else. You're not buying that nut butter, you're not buying anything else. And maybe you fast. Fine. If you can't afford it, then fast. Fast. You go on a fasting, a 3-day fast. Then you eat for 3 days. Then you go on another 3-day fast. You eat for 3 days. So all I'm saying, or do 1 meal a day. Go down to carnivore 1 meal a day if you can't afford the meat. Now you can. There are ways that you can afford it, but if you already have the belief, the limiting belief that you cannot afford it, that you can't afford to be on a healing protocol, then you're not going to be on a healing protocol because you've already blocked it as a possibility in your healing journey. And that is simply not doing you any favors. Because the truth is you absolutely can find a way to afford to be on a healing protocol, even if it's a completely free healing protocol. And you can do it consistently and it can be effective enough to heal you. This is truth. And if you really want that thing, that one thing that costs money, then you can find a way to afford it. That's also the truth. So I hear this often. I held this belief myself. It's not true. And until you change it to think I can afford to be on a healing protocol, I can find a way to afford to be on a good healing protocol, then you're open to finding out ways that you can incorporate really good healing things within your budget. And you can even push through the limits that you have on your own budget. You can even find other ways, right? Cut back here, do this. You can find creative ways. And you can even find a fully amazing healing protocol that fits within your budgetary means. So until you change that belief to say, I can afford to be on a healing protocol, I can definitely afford what it takes to heal. Believe that you can afford it. Believe that you can afford it, and you open up to all the possibilities that are out there. Number 3, this is a big one. This comes in the form of people say it in many different ways, but they're all saying the same thing. And that thing is, I'm special, I'm different, I'm too sick. Basically, I'm too sick to heal because of my situation, my circumstances. If you are saying this, I said this all the time. I'm the sickest, right? I'm the sickest. Nobody in my situation can possibly heal. I have X, Y, Z. I have over 200 symptoms. Like, I've been diagnosed with all of these things. I never get breaks. It's 24/7. It's constant. It's extreme. There's absolutely no way. I'm different than other people. Other people don't have it as bad as me. They don't have it as long as me. They don't have it as bad as me. It's not as extreme as me. Their situation's different than mine because I did this, I did X, Y, Z. I poisoned myself, or I have no family support, or I this, that, whatever it is, right? It's like, I'm too sick to heal. I'm too special. My circumstances are too hard, too challenging, too extreme, too difficult to overcome because I'm different, I'm special, I'm unique, and I'm the exception. I can't heal. Everyone else can do it, but they're not as bad as me. They're not as sick as me. Their situation isn't as bad as mine. They're not as extreme as me. They haven't had it for as long as me. Can you hear the excuses? Can you hear the justifications? Can you hear the limitations in all of these? This is basically a wall, an invisible wall, which is your limiting belief. It blocks you from healing. If you've ever said any of these things, this is one of the beliefs that you need to change, because I'm telling you, it is blocking you from healing. No matter what protocol you're doing, no matter what diet you're doing, no matter all the things that you are doing right, hold this belief, right? Because I did this, because my situation, because I'm too extreme, because I'm the sickest, because it's just not possible for me because of this. If you're saying this, you are blocking your own healing. You're limiting it. You have a belief that needs to be changed. This is an excuse. This is a justification because of a deep limiting belief that you hold about yourself. And you hold this belief because you are so fearful that if you try as hard as you can, if you're doing everything you can and you don't succeed, that you will be a failure. And so you're already justifying or giving me the reason or giving me the excuse why it's not going to work, why it can't work for you, because you are afraid to fall again and fail again and again and again. It hurts to keep failing. It hurts to keep losing that hope. It hurts. And so we put these excuses up there. I'm different. I'm too extreme. I'm too sick. I've had it too long. I'm special. My circumstances are different. My situation's different. Because of this thing, I just can't do it because it's an excuse. It's a justification. It's a limitation. And it's one of the biggest limiting beliefs that people hold that continue to keep them stuck where they are, and you're not going to heal until you change this limiting belief. And I know you want to heal in 2025. If this is your year to heal, you have to knock down this belief. So you may really believe this belief. I really believed it. I really believed I was too extreme. I was too sick. Like, I really believed my circumstances, my situation was too unique and special and different. And it gave me this reason why it was too much for me. It gave me a justification. It gave me an excuse. I didn't think it was an excuse. I really believed this to be true, right? I just thought I was speaking the truth. But I was filled with fear. I wanted it. I hoped it would. But I was scared it wasn't going to happen. It was fear. I was just terrified that because of all these reasons, because I thought I was too sick or extreme or had gone on too long, or I did all these things that made it impossible now for me to heal because I ruined it in several different ways, and I did the wrong things, and whatever it was, there was too much damage. This was fear. This is all resistance that stands in between you and what you want. Because the truth is, if anyone is healed, if anyone who has been extreme, and I'm telling you, I was extreme and I healed. I'm telling you, there are people who are, stage 4 cancer on their deathbed and they've healed. There are people who are in wheelchairs with MS who haven't walked for years who have healed, right? There are people with Alzheimer's who couldn't remember things and who are now fully functioning, right? Who have their brain back. If somebody extreme has done it, you can do it. I used to look over and over, but did they have all these symptoms? Did they have all these situations? I wanted a success story that mimicked mine exactly, so I knew it was possible. The truth is, you're not going to find, there's too many factors. You're not going to find somebody exact, right? With the exact same everything. But if somebody extreme has healed, you can heal too. Yes, you can. And if you say no, but because this, because that, you're doing it. Every time you say that, you are reinforcing that limiting belief. And it is this belief that is keeping you stuck and sick. And until you change it, you need to keep repeating to yourself until the point that you believe, I am not too extreme. I am not special. I'm not different. I can heal like everyone else. I can heal like everybody else. Even though my situation is bad, even though my situation is extreme, many extreme people have healed. Many people, even worse than me, have healed. Even if I think I'm the absolute worst in human history ever to exist, ever with this condition, with this illness, with this, somebody out there, there's got to be somebody. But even if you can't find anybody, you will be the first. You can heal. You absolutely need to believe that you're not special or you're not different because there is somebody else out there who's also done it. You're not too far gone. You're not too extreme. You're not whatever it is that you think your situation's just too special. It's not true. It is not true. So many people have healed. You haven't done enough. You haven't stayed with it long enough. You haven't done all the work. And until you believe, until you say, I can heal. Somebody in my situation with my extreme symptoms can heal. Until you believe that, It is possible for somebody as extreme as me to heal. You need to believe. Even someone in my situation, even somebody with these circumstances, even somebody, yes, even somebody with all of this that I have can heal. Until you can believe that, you're not going to heal. So you need to sit in meditation. You need to journal about this. You need to think about this. You need to pray on this. You need to meditate on this. You need to say affirmations on this. You need to truly do the work so that you can believe. Even somebody like this, even me, even with all of this special circumstances that I think I have, it's not unique. It's not unique. I'm not different. I'm not special. At the heart, we're all human and I can heal too. You need to get to the point where you can say, even these limitations, even those things I think are too hard to heal, none of these can stop me from healing. Healing is available to me, just like it is to everyone else. That is the belief you need to hold. Healing is available for me too. And you need to drop those excuses. You need to drop those justifications. You need to drop the limiting belief that you're too special, you're too different, it can't work for you. You need to have the belief that it can work for you, that you're the same as everyone, that we're all human, and you can heal too, even in these extreme situations, circumstances, or symptoms, whatever it is that you're facing. Healing is available to you. You can heal even with this, even with this. That has to be the new true belief that you hold. Okay, so number 4, I don't have any support. I have nobody. I have no help. I hear this one often. This is a sad one because some people have support and some people don't have support, and that's just the truth. You may not have anyone. So some people have strained relationships from all of those in their life, right? Their family, they're divorced, they're single, mom on their own, they're all alone, they have no one to help, okay? This is true. Other people are married with good families who are there, right? This is also true. And then there are some people who have families and are married, but those people are neither helpful nor supportive of their situation. This is also true. There's people in all 3 of these categories, right? You may have lots of people around you. You may have a spouse. You may have friends. You may have family. You may have relatives. And none of them are supportive of your healing journey. None of them add to your life. None of them help you in a way that you need to be helped. Maybe they add to your sickness. Maybe they add to your illness, your stress, your discomfort, right? So having people doesn't necessarily mean you're healing. In fact, they could be the reason you're not healing. So there's people who live alone and say, well, I don't have anyone. That might be better. The people who are living with people who are actually detracting from their healing, I bet you wish, if I could only live alone, if I could only get away from these people and go be on my own in a cabin in the woods somewhere, just all alone, I could heal. I promise you there are those people out there who are thinking that. There are other people who are all alone by themselves who don't have anybody to detract from them or be unsupportive in any way. And they're thinking, man, if I only had someone who could support me through this, or people who could help, or family, or whatever. So it is not true that anyone in either of these situations can't heal. Now, the people who have loving families, loving spouses, who are there to help, that's amazing. And if that's you, that's great. But there are also people who have these loving spouses, right? Loving families who want to help, but can do nothing, can't do anything. You know, they can offer to do something, but nothing that they offer to do is going to help you because your symptoms are just too much. Doesn't seem like they can help. So even though they're there, they can't do anything. So they're basically there and they can't do anything anyways. Even though they love you, they can provide you love. That's always good, right? But maybe maybe there's other people who, have these loving people and they rely on them. They use them as a crutch, right? You're using these people as a crutch, so you're not developing your own strength, your own will. You're not moving forward on your own. You're asking other people to do everything for you, to cook for you, to bring you things. You're not getting up and you're not moving. You're not pushing yourself. So even having a loving family who's supportive and doing things for you all the time could either detract from your healing journey because you're not pushing yourself to do them yourself, or whatever they do just can't help because it's not being effective for your symptoms, right? They don't have the answers. So, no matter which category you're in, everyone thinks that the category they're in, like, I don't have anyone, I don't have support, or I have rotten people in my life and they detract from me, or I have people who love me, or even they feel guilty all the time because these loving people are in their life and they feel like a burden to them. It constantly ruins their internal feeling because all they do all day is feel like a burden. They feel guilty. They feel like that they're ruining these people's lives. So no matter which situation you're in, it can be bad and it can be good. How do you choose to look at it? So right now you have a limiting belief that, like, I don't have anyone and it's not working for me, or I have these bad people and so it's not working for me, or I have these people who love me and I can't get better, so I'm filled with guilt and a feeling like I'm a burden. So you can look at any of these situations as a bad thing. You can tell yourself a story, a limiting belief, right? An excuse as to why this is why you can't get better. Or you can choose to change that belief, right? I have no one, so therefore I don't have to feel guilty that I'm burdening anyone. And I also don't have to let other people's energy affect me. And I can really focus on myself. And I can do this. I'm in the best situation. There's people who dream of being in this situation, just being alone, so they can heal in solidarity with themselves. They can meditate. They can hear themselves think. They can sit in silence all day. They can do whatever they want without judgment or interference, right? So you can choose to think of this and see all the positives in this, right? Or you have people who love you. You can choose to see the positive in that instead of just feeling guilty and like a burden and using them as a crutch. You can use their love as strength. You can choose not to feel guilty. You can choose to feel grateful, like, and believe that they want to be giving love to you. But you're not burdening them. So you can choose to see it different. You can choose to be grateful instead of guilty. And then the people who are living with people who aren't emotionally supportive, they're detracting from them, you can choose to leave. You can choose to leave. You can choose to get a different person. Or you can just use those people to help you do tasks around the house to help lighten the load, the burden, without even emotionally interacting with them. You don't have to, but it's good that they're there because if you need something, they can get it. Or if the kids need to go somewhere, they can do it, or whatever. So you can see all of these things, frame them in a positive way, no matter what situation you're in. But I hear all the time from people, well, I don't have support, or I have the wrong person in my life, or I'm constantly feel guilty because I have a family that I can't, who love me, that I can't get better for. So if this is you, you have a limiting belief. This is a deep belief that is not true. You can heal in any one of these situations, and you need to start telling yourself, I can heal. If you're alone, you need to start saying, I can heal because I'm alone. This is the most ideal situation. This is a healing situation. If you're with people who love you, you need to think, this is a healing situation. I can count on these people's love and support. I'm so blessed. I'm so lucky. If you have people who are not emotionally good for you, but you're in your life and you can't leave them because you're too sick and all of this, chaos is around you, but you can't leave because you're sick. You can say, thank God I at least have somebody to help me through this, to pay the bills, to go to work, to do all these things. And I know when I'm well enough, I can make the choice that's right for me. I can leave when I'm well enough, right? But for now, thank goodness I have somebody to share this burden with, that someone else can pick up the slack in areas that I can't right now. I'm going to keep my emotional energy for myself. And if I feel I need to leave, but I can't leave yet, then I'm just going to prepare to leave in my heart, but let them pick up the burden and go to work and pay the bills and do all these extra things that need to be done, and be grateful for that. Be grateful for at least that support that I have. Okay, so whatever situation you're in, you need to change the belief that you can't heal because you don't have the right support, or you have too much support and you wish you could be alone, or whatever it is. This is a limiting belief. It is stopping you from healing. Your situation, whatever it is, whether you're alone and you have no one, or you have people who are not good for you, or whether you have people who love you that you feel you're burdening and you feel guilty by. You can heal in all these situations. So no matter what is your situation, you need to continue to say, I'm blessed that I'm in this situation for now. When I'm ready, I can make a change. When I'm ready, I can reach out for help. When I'm ready, I can leave. When I'm ready, I can do more around the house to help out. When I'm ready, right, I can change what I don't like about this situation. But this is an ideal situation for healing. You need to make your particular situation right now in your mind the most ideal situation for healing. You need to start to believe that it is an ideal situation for healing. This is ideal. This is ideal for healing. And even if it's not, we need to find the ways in which it is and work with it. Work with it. And if it's truly not, and you can't find the ways and you can't find the belief, then you need to change it. If you're all alone, then you need to make a friend. You need to reach out. You need to ask for help. Or if you're with someone you just can't stay with, then you need to leave even if you are sick. If it's really that toxic situation, then you need to leave. Or if you're with your family and friends and you can't because the guilt and the burden, you need to go in and do that inner work, or you need to say, I need more time alone. You need to go find a spot, find a place where you can be alone in solitude and you don't have to feel that. So you need to either believe that your situation is the most ideal for you that you can have now and start to find the positives, or you need to make the change that you need to make in order to believe that your environment, your situation, that you have the support, that you can heal no matter your situation. Okay, and let's move on to number 5. So, and the number 5 thing that I hear most often, the limiting belief that you need to change this year in 2025 is that it's too hard. It's too much. I can't do it. Okay, I hear this all the time, but it's too hard to eat that diet. But it's too hard to do that protocol. But it's too hard to do that healing work. But it's too hard, right? It's too hard. I don't have enough energy. I don't have enough belief. I don't have enough confidence. And I don't have enough resilience. And I don't have enough time. I don't have enough strength. I can't do it. It's too hard for me. I don't get any joy, right? I can't do it. It's too hard to arrange all these things, to rearrange my schedule, to find the money, to find the time, to do the protocol, to commit to it. It's hard. Yes. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's hard. And it's worth it. Anything that you want in life is hard and worth it. I'm sure that you'll agree, right? Having children is hard. Being a parent is hard, but it's worth it. The rewards are worth it. Getting married, marriage is hard. It's hard work, but it's worth it. The benefits and the love and the partnership and the trust is worth it. Losing a whole bunch of weight, going from being fat to skinny, it's hard. I have to change my diet. I have to go to the gym. I have to work out. I have to change my lifestyle. I have to not eat that thing, that cake at the party that everyone else is eating, and I have to not eat it. It's too hard. It's hard. Yes, it's hard. It's hard to be at the weight that you want. It's worth it when you're there because you feel good. You look good in your clothes. You feel good about yourself. You feel healthier. All of these things. Yes, I want this amazing career, but it's hard. Okay, it's hard. It's hard to put in the work every day. I get it. It's hard to do it. It's hard to go above, to work all day, to go above and beyond, to reach for the career that you want, because it's hard. Maybe you have to do a crappy job that you don't like and then spend your free time doing courses or going back to school or learning and setting up a business or doing what it is that you want. It's hard, but it's worth it. Anything that we want in life is hard, and it's worth it if we apply it, we stay consistent, and we finally and ultimately reap the rewards of putting in the hard work. This is nothing new. Right? You want to be great at a certain sport, or you want to be a professional athlete, or you want to be good at playing the guitar or the piano, or you want to be a good artist. It's hard. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the commitment. It's hard. It's hard to find the time. It's hard to dedicate yourself to it. It's hard to do it. But it's a limiting belief that's holding you back, because it's not too hard to heal, because you know it is harder being sick. Being sick, having these symptoms, suffering, living your life in the condition that you're in is hard. I know that if you're sick, you agree with me. I'm going to cry because it's hard, right? It's hard to be sick. It is so much harder to suffer with chronic illness. It's so much harder to feel this way about yourself, to live your days in suffering. It is so much harder than it is to do the work to heal. Even though it's hard to do these things, to eat this way, to be on the protocol, to find the work, to do the inner work, to do whatever it is that you need to do, it's hard. Yeah. But it is not as hard as being sick. In the end, it's worth it. It is worth it. So if you find yourself saying it's too hard, it's too much, I can't do it, that's just an excuse because you're tired, because you're worn out, because you need some self love, you need some self kindness, you need some self compassion, you need a little bit of rest before you get back up again. I'm not saying to push beyond your limits. You need balance in your life, right? You need to be able to have love, to know and believe that you're doing good enough, to have rest too, rest with the pushing, some breaks with the work, right? There has to be a balance. And maybe you need that more in your life, especially if you're type A and you're driving as hard as you can all the time and you're burning yourself out and you're wearing yourself out. That's hard, right? Being hard on yourself, being critical on yourself, being judgmental on yourself. So maybe you need a break of driving yourself with all the inner talk that's not serving you. But being sick is harder than healing. So in the end, whatever you have to do, whatever protocol you have to do, no matter how long you have to do it, it's still less hard than being sick every day for the rest of your life and suffering. It's still less hard in the end. Even though it's hard, it is less hard. And so you need to change that limiting belief. I can't, it's too much, it's too hard to, it's too hard for me in this moment. I'm going to give myself self-love and some, if you can't in the moment, I can't in this moment, and I love myself, and that's okay. So I'm going to rest, or I'm going to meditate, or I'm going to be gentle. I'm going to give myself self-care, have a bath. That's still working towards healing. All of that is still moving towards healing, right? It doesn't have to be hard. It can be gentle. But doing the work to heal is way less hard in the end, way less hard than being sick. And so, if you hold any of these 5 limiting beliefs, then you need to change these and truly believe the opposite. Truly find a way to believe something different about your situation for any of these 5 things. Because if you do, and if you can change this going into 2025, your healing journey is going to take on a new feeling, right? A new energy. It's going to be easier. You're going to be able to love yourself more. You're going to be able to get there easier. It's going to start working with you and for you. So tearing down these limiting beliefs, and this is the 5 that I see most often that I believe is stopping you, yes, you, from healing. So if you have any of these, please comment below. Please, let's hear which one of these or all of these are stopping you from healing. Which ones do you find yourself thinking? Have you thought any of these? Do you believe any of these, right? Which one? Which one is the one? Because this is so important to realize you're not alone. I had all of these, and I see people with all of these. I want you to know you're not alone, but none of these are true. They're excuses, they're validations, they're reasons why you can't, they're justifications. They are all a form of resistance. They are all deeply held limiting beliefs that you can change. You can change these, and when you do, you are going to see the most amazing forward movement in your healing journey. And I want that for you for 2025. So if you need to watch this video again, please do. And if you received value out of this video, please consider subscribing. Hit the like button. I really, really appreciate it. If you want any more information on how to work with me, all of that is below. If you liked this video, go ahead and watch this one. I am sending you all my love, and I want the very best for all of you in 2025. And I am here for you, and I will see you in the next video.